All right, well, good morning, everyone, and thank you all so much for coming to the Neighborhood Place, a very impactful group of individuals that are really helping so many people achieve in their daily lives. And I want to give a thanks to our host today. You'll hear a little bit more about what's going on in this building here shortly. One of the things I've learned as mayor, and that I think anyone who is involved with Louisville Metro government realizes, is that everything is so interconnected. Public safety, the economy, homelessness, affordable housing, healthcare, downtown development, you name it, everything interacts with one another, everything supports other items, and everything is interconnected. And that really just makes total sense when you think about it, because our lives are very complicated and depend on so many things going right to lead healthy, safe, successful lives. If we struggle financially, for example, it can seriously impact our physical and mental health. Or if our health is poor, it can impact our ability to pay our monthly bills. So when we think about how we solve problems, we need to think about how things overlap with one another. And that's true on an individual level, and it's also true on our city level. And in order to solve these overlapping challenges, we need to have strong partnerships. No one can do it alone. City government cannot solve all of our challenges alone. And so we are so fortunate that we've got strong partnerships with nonprofit organizations, with the private sector, with other public agencies, and more. And Neighborhood Place, where we are today, is one of those groups that is built on strong partnerships. The same can be said for Thrive by Five, our new nonprofit initiative that's working to promote early childhood learning so that every 3- and 4-year-old in Louisville gets off to a great start. And today, we're excited to announce another great new strong partnership that is designed to help address these overlapping challenges that are impacting far too many people in Louisville. So to set all this up, I'm going to tell a quick story about how this came together. Our amazing Deputy Mayor, Nicole George, was recently meeting with the team that oversees Healthy Starts, that's part of the Louisville Metro Health Public Health and Wellness Program. And if you're not familiar with Healthy Start, it's a really important program, one that works with pregnant women and brand new mothers and their babies. And their goal is to improve their health and improve infant mortality rates. It's a terrific program. They do amazing work. I was here just a month or so ago visiting with them to see their work in action. And Deputy Mayor George, as she often does, said, "How can we help? What could we do to help make your program more effective? If I had a magic wand, what would you need?" And they said, "We'd love you to buy a house for every pregnant mother." Well, it turns out we don't have quite the magic wand that Deputy Mayor George was talking about. However, it planted a seed in her mind. And the very next day, Deputy Mayor George happened to be meeting with our great friends at Delta Dental of Kentucky to talk about ways that they might be able to get more involved in helping making our city healthier. It was just one of the ways that they were looking to give back to their community. So fresh on this conversation with Healthy Start, Deputy Mayor George told them about the program, and their eyes sparkled. They got really excited, and that conversation led us to the exciting announcement that you're about ready to hear today from Brian Hart. Brian is the Chief Revenue Officer of Delta Dental of Kentucky, and I'll turn it over to him to make this wonderful announcement. Brian?
Thank you. At Delta Dental, we talk a lot about smiles and the power of smiles. And we provide financial assistance to a lot of dental clinics throughout the city and the state. And we see and hear firsthand the transformation that occurs in a person's life when they feel confident about their smile, what it means for their life, what it means for job prospects, what it just means for their self-confidence. Today, we're excited to talk about transformation in a different way. And we all know that housing affordability is at an all-time low. And that for some folks, it's not the monthly mortgage payment or the monthly costs. It's really that first down payment that can be a daunting hurdle or even feel impossible. And that's why Delta Dental, and on behalf of Delta Dental, I'm excited to announce that we're contributing $1 million over 4 years in down payment assistance for individual families in the Healthy Start program to help them get into a home. Thank you. Just as I mentioned, the transformation that comes from believing in your smile, we believe in the transformation, the generational transformation that comes from owning your own home, and the sense of pride and ownership that comes from that journey. And we know that this can't solve every problem and for all families, but it's going to help some. It's going to help some, and we hope that this serves as a template for other companies to join in with the mayor, the city, as we join together. And as he said, these are complex problems and they require creative solutions. And so today we're proud to announce this partnership, $1 million, and to play our small part in helping address the affordability situation that we find ourselves in. So we look forward to partnering with individual families and walking alongside them as they get into their homes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brian. The $1 million gift from Delta Dental of Kentucky is truly going to improve so many lives in our city. It's going to improve the lives of new mothers who are starting families or expanding their families, to give them that affordable and quality home that they need to be the foundation for a safe, healthy, successful family. This is truly, truly changing lives. So thank you, Brian. Thank you, everyone at Delta Dental who helped make this happen. To Jude and everyone else that's part of the Delta Dental team, thank you all so much. This is absolutely amazing. And to talk a little bit more about the program and what this means, you're going to hear from two more folks that are working every day to make our city a healthier city. First, Connie Mendel, who's the Chief Health Strategist for Louisville Public Health and Wellness. And then following Connie will be Aaron Waddell, who works in the financial empowerment area with the Healthy Start program. So Connie and then Aaron, please join us.
Thank you. On behalf of Louisville Metro Public Health and Wellness, I want to thank you for such a gracious donation to our families that can certainly use this. And I also want to thank our Department of Resilience and Community Services and the Financial Empowerment Program. Also, just to help our Healthy Start families achieve more financial success and stability. Our Healthy Start program works to improve health outcomes for babies and parents, and most importantly, reduce infant mortality, the rates of which in Jefferson County are way too high, particularly when we look at our Black infants who it has some of the highest mortality rates in Jefferson County, in the Kentucky, and higher than nationwide averages. So our Black infants are almost twice as likely to die within the first year of life. So these are things that our Healthy Start program works diligently to improve, along with maternal health, healthy mothers, healthy babies, healthy families. So we know that housing instability can be a great cause of stress, mental anguish, which then impacts your physical health. So these are root causes and also related to potentially inadequate health care, health accessibility. These are all crucial things for our families. So we certainly want healthy families. In addition to that, studies have found that housing, again, insecurity leads to negative impacts on the family health. So it can prevent someone from making prenatal visits, and it can increase the likelihood in delivery complications, including studies show preterm birth, low birth weights, and preeclampsia, which is a pregnancy complication marked by high blood pressure and signs of organ failure. So all of these can be stress-related. So this donation helps to remove that barrier. And it's just another great example of a partnership within Metro government, within our departments, and us ultimately helping to save lives. So I also wanted to introduce Juliana Clark, who's just going to say a couple words about our Healthy Start program. She's our community health manager, works very closely with our families. So Juliana.
Thank you, Connie, for that introduction. And so now I'll tell you a little bit more about Healthy Start for all of you who may not know. So our Healthy Start program has approximately 350 adults and children or infants involved at any given time throughout the year in our service area. Through virtual and in-person home visits, Healthy Start staff of community health workers, nurses, and a social worker, and connect participants to prenatal care, doula, food assistance, emergency supplies, transportation to care, other healthcare services, as well as critical social supports. The Healthy Start program also educates family on labor and delivery, breastfeeding, car seat safety, safe sleep practices, and much, much more, depending on the needs of our participants. We also operate a program called 502 Fathers that provides a forum where fathers can speak confidentially about issues they are facing. Families get consistent education throughout pregnancy and after delivery until the baby is 18 months old. Healthy Start is available to pregnant people and any individual with an infant up to 18 months old who lives in Jefferson County zip codes 40203, 40208, 40215, 40218, 40219, 40258, 40272, which include the areas of Newburgh, Valley Station, Pleasure Ridge Park, and Hazelwood. The program also provides services to the zip codes of 40210 and 40212, which include the neighborhoods of Portland, Park Hill, and Algonquin areas. And some key outcomes I would like to highlight about our program are more than 95% of our participants have health insurance, more than 80% have a usual source of medical care, and then more than 75% of our participants report dual partner involvement. And I personally love working for the Healthy Start program and participants because I see firsthand how having a village and people to advocate for you can change someone's lives. The support and resources provided through this program, along with our passionate staff, empower individuals to overcome challenges, achieve their goals, and build a brighter future for themselves and their families. And if you want to learn more about Healthy Start, you can visit our Healthy Start page on louisvilleky.gov or call 502-574-MOM1. Thank you.
Well, thank you all so much with what you do with Healthy Start. Thanks for everything that you all do at Louisville Public Health and Wellness, and a giant thanks to Delta Dental of Kentucky for this $1 million contribution that is going to improve the lives of so many moms and babies and little kids around this city to set them up for success. This is truly making Louisville a safer, stronger, and healthier city. Thank you, Delta Dental of Kentucky, once again. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. More great news. Progress. As we've just talked about, housing is such an important part and is fundamental to everything that we do as a city. This announcement that we just made with Delta Dental of Kentucky is going to help in that regard. And one other area that is so fundamental and impacts so many other areas of life for everyone around our city is transportation. When we look at the way that people move around our city, it's clear that what transportation looks like today is very different than what it looked like 10 or 20 years ago, and it's probably incredibly different than what it's going to look like in 10 or 20 years from now. So we have to be ready. We have to plan better, we have to execute better, we have to think better, and we have to be better in transportation. So just as we're reimagining downtown and planning to reconfigure some of our streets from one way to two ways as we're looking to make improvements, we also need to examine how we approach transportation, infrastructure, and roads in every part of our city. It's something that I've been talking about since I first ran for mayor. And earlier this year, the budget that I proposed and that my colleagues on Metro Council behind me and their colleagues supported called for investing in creating a Department of Transportation. The Department of Transportation will be a unified team that will work on improving our transportation infrastructure, traffic, walkability, sustainability, and more. It'll work closely with TARC, state, and federal agencies that work on transportation with us. And it'll work hand in hand with the new Louisville Economic Development Alliance, because so much of what we do with respect to transportation impacts our economic development. It'll strengthen our economy and support the work that we're doing. The Metro Department of Transportation's job will be to make it easier for people and businesses to move around our city. Most importantly, to move around our city safely. And at the same time, to create neighborhoods that are improved because of the way that we have taken a new approach to designing roads and infrastructure. This is something that other cities have successfully done. And I'm excited about what this means for the future of our city right here in Louisville. Over the past month, we've gathered experts and local stakeholders that are really interested in transportation, just like what we did when we created the Growing Louisville Together plan for economic development. We've had great conversations with my colleagues on Metro Council, Councilwoman Purvis, Councilwoman Rui, Councilman Piagentini, who are here today, and others of their colleagues that have provided important input as we create this Department of Transportation. We've also talked to TARC, APCD, Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, PARC, Louisville Parks and Recreations, other agencies, home rule cities throughout Jefferson County, KIPTA, mobility advocates, and more. And we held a series of interviews and focus groups to gather ideas and develop what a new vision for transportation in Louisville could look like. So I want to thank everyone that's participated in this project. We'll continue to listen as we get to work. But now it's time to get to work. So we are taking the next steps today in establishing the process that will lead us to the Department of Transportation, which will be housed within Metro Public Works. So to talk a little bit more about our progress and where we're going, let me introduce our Executive Director of Louisville Public Works, Jennifer Commissar-Kern. Jennifer?
Good morning. A huge thank you to Mayor Greenberg, Deputy Mayor George, and Metro Council for understanding our vision and supporting us in this new endeavor. We're very grateful to our consulting teams, CityFi, Sam Schwartz Engineering, and Gifted by Design for leading us through this process, and all those who took time to share information during interviews earlier this year. It's not an easy task to look at yourself, make an honest evaluation, and understand what improvements you have to make. We're very excited about the promising possibilities for this new Department of Transportation and what it can deliver to our city. So, as the mayor said, beginning early in 2024, our consulting team invited stakeholders, including Metro Council, APCD, the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, KIPTA, TARC, Parks, department leaders, employees, suburban city leaders, and our mobility advocates to join in interviews and focus groups to share ideas on their vision for transportation in Louisville Metro. This model's been implemented in many cities, including Atlanta, Chicago, Denver, Nashville, New York, and Seattle, just to name a few. Successfully restructuring transportation functions similarly is a strategy to achieve their infrastructure goals. So what are our expected benefits of doing this? So establishing a consolidated Department of Transportation in the city capitalizes on our existing leadership, talent, transportation resources, and will extend immediate benefits to Metro. Integrating planning with the other transportation functions will advance our comprehensive planning goals and our community outcomes. Streamlining project processes and decision-making will mitigate delays and lead to cost savings. Improved coordination and oversight will foster greater accountability and transparency. And standardizing procedures that optimize our resources will result in enhanced operational efficiencies. Reorganization and realignment will not only improve Louisville Metro's management of current transportation initiatives, but also support future growth and transportation innovation in Louisville Metro. So we invite you to read the final recommendations for yourself. Those are available at louisvilleky.gov/Metro DOT. Thank you.
Thanks, Jennifer. Just a couple of things that I'm excited about addressing with the Department of Transportation. I'll just give you a few examples. One, right now, we've just recently started construction on a new road improvement project on East Market Street in the New Lou neighborhood. It took 14 years from when that project was first discussed until our administration got that underway with construction this year. That's unacceptable. That cannot continue to happen. With the new Department of Transportation, one of the things that we're going to do is to have a dedicated project manager that when a project first comes up, this project manager will be assigned to see it all the way through every phase of development, from public input and engagement to design to construction. That is going to help move projects through the system quicker so that when we have funds available from the city, from the state, from the federal government, we get these projects done and we don't talk about them for over a decade like we have time and time again in our city's history. So that's one thing I'm excited about, the ability to get the projects done quicker. And also the second is with respect to planning. We need to think about growth throughout our entire community. We should be proactive with growth to support development in areas where we want to encourage development, not just with roads, but with sidewalks, with trees, with other infrastructure that improves neighborhoods and communities, and not feel like we're always reacting after growth happens, after new neighbors or existing neighbors complain about traffic or accidents or unsafe road conditions that have occurred. Let's think proactively, and this Department of Transportation is going to help us think about that throughout the entire city. I know that's one thing that's important to many of our Metro Council friends, including Councilman Piagentini, who's one of our colleagues here with us today. Councilman Piagentini?
Yeah, just real quick, first of all, I want to thank the mayor for continuing to collaborate with Metro Council. Things like roads and infrastructure are critical primary functions of local government. And we continue to see this administration work with us, partner with us, and get our input into these things. And I want to start by thanking the mayor for that. The latter point that the mayor made was obviously something that was very important to myself in representing District 19 in the East End. Over the last census period, my district grew by over 30% in residents. Our road infrastructure did not grow by 30% to match the need. And unfortunately, what we saw in the past was exactly what Mayor Greenberg said, which is that we were waiting for the residents and the commercial activity to come, and then we were trying to quickly catch up and remediate the problems that were created. I'm very excited by what this Department of Transportation can do to separate out the day-to-day functions of public works, which they're doing a great job of. They're doing their best to fill the potholes and pave the roads, but to also have people that are thinking on terms that are well beyond when we all will be here, right? 10, 20-year timelines of growth to ensure that infrastructure is meeting those needs. So again, thanks very much. And thank you, Mayor, for continuing to collaborate with your colleagues on Metro Council. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. And another great partner on this effort and more is, you're the chair of the committee, right? Yes. The chair of the Transportation Committee at Metro Council, Councilwoman Donna Purvis.
Good morning. Thank you all for being here. I just want to thank Ms. Commissar Kern. She's really taken the baton and ran the race. And so I'm so proud to have you here leading out the department to meet the needs that we need met here in the city. Just want to say that I want to echo on the mayor that this gives our local government the autonomy to move forward in transportation needs. Now we don't have to make excuses to our constituents when they call and ask us about things that are related to transportation. We don't have to send them to Frankfurt to get the answers. We have the answers right here in Louisville. So I just want to say thank you all for being here, for witnessing this day, and I look forward to our city being innovative and moving forward in meeting our transportation needs here in Louisville. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. We're excited to get started. Thank you, guys. All right, one more item. I think we've got one more thing. Yeah, you guys can stay or not. Plastic free July. What? Okay, is that the one you're here for? Okay. Yeah, that's the one I'm here for. All right, come on, guys. Finally, we want to acknowledge today a very important movement that's happening in Louisville, and around the country, and it's called Plastic Free July. Sustainability is one of our great responsibilities as a community and as a city government. And one of the issues that we need to address is the impact of plastic products that pollute our streets, our green spaces, and our waterways. Louisville Metro Government's Waste Management District collects over 33,000 tons of plastics each year, most of which ends up in a landfill. That's a problem here. That's a problem around the world. Plastic pollution has reached alarming levels, devastating our oceans, harming our public health, infiltrating the food chain. The good news is that everyone can be a part of the solution, and that we are hoping today that we are encouraging people here during the month of July and for the rest of the year and thereafter to be a part of this solution, to try to make a conscious effort to reduce the amount of plastic that you use in your daily lives. You can bring canvas bags to the grocery store. Keep reusable cutlery to use at your workplace. Stay hydrated by using reusable water bottles. And as an organization, we can prioritize these approaches for events that we sponsor. In addition to these changes that we can do ourselves, we can also support local restaurants and places that also keep this as a priority. And one that I want to recognize today is Mama's Barbecue, a local restaurant that serves outstanding barbecue that my family and I enjoy often. They use plant-based products such as forks, plates, straws, bags, and cups. And Mama's is one of several restaurants in Louisville that have made the smart and responsible choice to provide biodegradable to-go materials and eliminate plastic waste. I also want to give a shout out to the Louisville chapter of Beyond Plastics, a grassroots group committed to raising awareness about plastic pollution and promoting alternatives to single-use plastics. Thank you for helping raise awareness about the program and the problem of plastic waste. This is why, for all of these reasons, and in support of the national movement, this is why today we are proclaiming that July is Plastic Free Month. And so we want to encourage everyone around the entire city to find a way to make some conscious decisions to use less plastic in your daily lives. It is no longer difficult. It is very easy. So please, just a few small changes can make a real difference for our city, for our country, and for our world. So I'm going to give this proclamation to our Executive Director of the Mayor's Office of Sustainability, who is leading the way throughout Metro government, encouraging us to find ways, whether it's using less plastic or in all of the other things that we do, to take a sustainable approach to all of our strategies. Ladies and gentlemen, Sumaid Harao.
Good morning, everyone. As the mayor's mentioned, the production, use, and disposal of plastics cause significant harms to health and the environment. And we recognize that this is a systemic issue. It's going to require innovative solutions from the industries and the producers of plastic to come up with alternatives. But on the other side of the equation is consumer power, and that's what we're here to celebrate this month. In the words of Anne-Marie Bonneau, who is a zero-waste influencer who goes by Zero Waste Chef, we don't need a small handful of people doing zero waste perfectly. We need millions of people doing it imperfectly. And that's kind of the main message of this, is that we don't want anyone to feel pressured by the daunting task of going completely plastic free. But if everybody can choose a few actions that are easy for you to do and to encourage your friends to do the same, then we're going to start seeing really impactful things happen in our society. So I'd like to thank a lot of different partners today who are all here with us, who have helped us launch this campaign and who work year-round to get this message across to the community. I'd like to start by thanking Metro Council, specifically Council Member Batshon and Ruhi, for sponsoring a resolution last year that encourages the city to reduce its dependency on plastic. I'd also like to thank our partners at Solid Waste Management Services, Public Health and Wellness, and Brightside for the work that they do year-round. And of course, Beyond Plastics Louisville, who offers great resources, including some that we'll hear about later today, to get communities together to learn about going plastic-free. So thank you again, and I am looking forward to introducing Pam Raitt from Beyond Plastics Louisville.
Hi, my name is Pam Raitt, and I'm representing Beyond Plastics Louisville chapter. And as the mayor said, Beyond Plastics Louisville is part of a nationwide grassroots movement to raise awareness about plastic pollution and promote alternatives to single-use plastic. We're very grateful to Mayor Greenberg and the Office of Sustainability for recognizing Plastic Free July and joining the global movement that encourages individuals, communities, schools, and businesses around the world to be part of the solution to plastic pollution by choosing to refuse single-use plastic. The Plastic Free July theme is Small Steps, Big Difference. During this month, their website, which is plasticfreejuly.org, offers daily tips and ideas for reducing single-use plastic with simple steps like bringing reusable shopping bags and carrying your own utensils or reusable water bottle instead of using disposables. Beyond Plastics Louisville encourages all members of our community and local businesses to start with the simple steps and continue doing more to reduce plastic pollution for the health of our planet, the health of our community, and the health of our children. Also, Beyond Plastics Louisville is sponsoring a free film screening this Thursday at 6 p.m. at the Highland Shelby Park branch of the Public Library of the award-winning documentary film, We're All Plastic People Now. And this film gives insight into the alarming impacts of plastic pollution on human health. So that's a great opportunity to learn more about what harms are being caused by plastic pollution. Thank you.
Thank you all very much for what you're doing here during Plastic Free July, and thanks for what you and your colleagues and all of your friends do as well year round. I do hope people heed the challenge and make some of those small steps that you just heard about to take to truly make our city and world a safer place than it is today. Thank you guys very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Councilman Rui, also for your leadership in this effort. Really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. With that, I'll take a quick swig from my reusable cup, and then we'll answer any questions that you all have. Mm-hmm. Thank you. All right, yes.
Regarding the new Department of Transportation, are there any projects we've identified as that will directly be benefited, streamlined, brought to the top of the pile with that the new Department of Transportation will handle streamlined?
So right now, there are no new projects that are yet in place. The projects that we're focused on are really twofold. The ones, well, first let me just say, we have a long queue of projects that have been partially or completely funded that have not yet gotten done. When I took office as mayor, I believe we had a $100 million backlog of funded projects that had not yet been completed, because we didn't have enough engineers and other project managers within the Public Works Department that could help execute on these projects. So one big goal is to catch up, to get current. When we have federal and state funds available for improving our infrastructure in Louisville, we want to get those projects done as quickly as possible. So that is the priority first. And then at the same time, the new planning approach that we'll be taking through the Department of Transportation will work on that long-term planning that we talked about. So there's not like one new project that's going to happen as a result of the Department of Transportation. It's really a change in approach that will get projects done that have either been authorized or that are authorized in the future, get them done more quickly, and that will also improve our approach to planning and project management.
Are any of those existing projects going to be prioritized?
With the existing projects that are in our queue? Do you want to talk about that, Jen?
I can answer that. Yes, certainly. So the model that the mayor mentioned is assigning, right now, the way that our projects work, we have an amazing team of planners, of engineers, but they're also responsible for things like managing entire programs like Complete Streets or Vision Zero or sidewalk programs. The idea is that we would have a dedicated project manager, and that would be their job. It is only projects. They are not getting sidelined with 15 other responsibilities and asking too much of them to, change from one thing to the other day to day, 50 times a day. They take projects from start to finish. And it's that refocus, not reprioritization, but refocus on the way that we apply that effort towards getting projects done.
We can also provide you with, we can provide you a list of sort of what the queue looks like and the timing of when some of these projects are going to happen. So we can follow up with that.
Those project managers, are they new hires or are they just being moved?
Well, some will be. We need more people in our Department of Public Works, Department of Public Transportation to be project managers. We need more project engineers. We have raised salaries for those individuals because competing with the private market was getting challenging, and so we want to make Louisville Metro government an employer of choice for folks that can help us improve the infrastructure.
And the Transportation Department will be under Jennifer's leadership?
Correct.
So is it the opinion that the city has been missing out on potentially federal dollars that we could have been getting?
No, actually, I think we've been getting the money. We have not been using the money. We have not been investing the money. So the money has been granted. It's been authorized. Our challenge is then investing the money in the projects that we want to do as rapidly as we possibly can. So this will help us continue to actually invest the federal and state funds that we are able to secure for improving Louisville's infrastructure.
Mr. Ray, do we have an idea of how much money we've been sitting on that we could have been using or have?
Well, as I mentioned, when I first took office, there was about $100 million of projects that had not yet been completed that were funded mostly through federal and state funds.
Sunset on that dollars? Have we had to give back dollars?
It's various different years. We have not had to give back dollars, and we do not plan to give back dollars. This will help ensure that doesn't happen. But more importantly, that as we look forward to the future, we'll be able to implement projects quicker.
What's the status of that Belvedere 4th Street project?
So we are making good progress on that right now. We've been working with Heatherwick Studio over the past couple of months, and we'll have an announcement about that in about the next month, about next phases of the project, for public engagement about the project, to release some initial designs. You should be hearing from us in about a month or so on that project.
Could the Louisville DOT move up the timeline for something like the 9th Street reimagining or the Broadway reimagining?
Do you want to answer that first? Okay, Joe.
So both of those projects are underway in the planning stage. The way that the federal dollars work is that they're programmed by year. So you would have a planning phase followed by a design phase, utility, right-of-way, and construction. So you're limited in the way that those funds are allocated.
But just to clarify, there's a big difference between those two projects right now. The 9th Street project, we have the funding for construction, so that is on its way to becoming a reality. On the Broadway All the Way project, the funding that we've been received so far is for the planning stage. So that'll be completed, and then we'll need to reapply for the next phase once we have those plans in place for Broadway. So the 9th Street one will happen first. You should see movement on that within the next year or so.
But would the DOT speed up something like that?
We can get the work done quicker, then we can apply quicker for the next phase. Yes, that's the long-term hope.
Mayor, the Safer Kentucky Act went into effect this week. Have you spoken with or given any orders to or directive to LNPD on enforcing any of these new laws, specifically the street camping law?
Yeah. So House Bill 5 has a lot of new provisions. It has new provisions. A lot of it is about new changes in sentences. It adds a new crime for carjacking, for example. It has several other, it has a new 3 strikes and you're out law for violent crimes that are committed and individuals that are convicted of those. So it's a very expansive law that went into effect yesterday, I believe. We've been in consultation with the county attorney's office on this, and we're going to continue right now doing what we're doing, which is ensuring that our streets are safe and healthy for everyone. Individuals have the right to have access to safe and healthy streets, whether it's sitting on a sidewalk and eating a meal, whether it's walking from the Ronald McDonald House to a hospital so your kids can get good health care, whether it's walking in a park, wherever you might be, you have right to safe and healthy streets. At the same time, individuals who are on the streets for the wrong reasons and creating disturbances, we will hold them accountable. Louisville is not going to be a city where individuals can assault others, where individuals can defecate or do other things on the streets. And if individuals are committing disorderly conduct like that have been crimes for a long period of time, we are going to hold individuals accountable. I believe we have made progress in that regard so far, and we will continue to. But let me be very clear. When it comes to individuals who are experiencing homelessness, the best thing that we can do is provide them with more services and shelter. And that's why we're working with speed on the community care campus. That's why we continue to support other nonprofit partners around the community that are providing services and shelter to individuals who are experiencing homelessness or at risk of experiencing homelessness. That's why our team at Resilience and Community Service, that Healthy Start is one of their programs. We're going to continue to invest in programs like that.
So if somebody is, like this morning, seen sleeping on a sidewalk in downtown Louisville or wherever, are they being cited? Are they being arrested? What's happening?
So yeah, definitely. So our resilience and our homeless services division with our resilience and community services team, they are approaching those individuals and working to get them services that they need, to help them get them on their way, to help them find support that they need to move in a new direction. That is the primary goal and focus of our approach to individuals that are sleeping on the street. Roberto.
Is there any update that you can provide on the ongoing consent decree negotiations? Where are we at in this process? It's been a few months now.
Yeah, sure. So actually, I have several colleagues of mine from the administration as well as from LMPD that are in Washington, D.C. right now as we speak. They're meeting with the Department of Justice. There have been regular ongoing negotiations over the consent decree language. Many of those have taken place here in Louisville, but this week they're in Washington, D.C. working all day, every day to move that process forward. Our hope is to finalize an agreement by early fall, I would like to say right now, and we are working with diligence to make that happen.
Just one quick follow-up. Has there been any delay in the process because of what's been going on with LMPD, particularly in leadership?
Interim Chief Humphrey was very involved with the negotiation of the consent decree. Now as interim chief, he's still, of course, very involved. We may have lost a week or so as a result of that when all of that transition was initially occurring, but I don't think it was anything more than that. It was not a material impact on the schedule. And with our colleagues being up in Washington, D.C. this week, if we had lost a week or so, they're catching up this week. So I think the answer is no. I do not believe we have lost any time as a result of that.
I was going to say quickly, what's the update on the community care campus specifically with shelter space operated by the city?
Yeah, so Volunteers of America is our partner on that project. They have a design in place. I believe we've released that design publicly, and the new family center is the first part of that project that is going to go under construction. We expect that to go under construction this fall. So they are rapidly working towards that goal, and we can provide you with more details. But my understanding is that construction will begin here in the next couple of months on the first phase of that project. And that we hope, I think it's within about, I can't remember the exact number, but it's within months from there that it will reopen for the first time. We'll get you the exact deadline, but I would say within 6 months, the first part of that project should be open.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Wait, there are a couple more, Kim. We'll take a couple more, and then we'll go. I'm sorry I didn't get to this side.
Back to the Department of Transportation, how many jobs will need to be filled, or how many are available?
So what's great about the plan is the way that it is it's strategically built for us to grow. So it is a 4 full-time employee positions and then 5 positions proposed to be grant funded. We also have some currently vacant positions that would be transitioned into positions within the department. So in total, 11 positions.
And then people who maybe work with Public Works now could transition into a role.
So that's a key part of it. And you'll see in the recommendations, right now, the way that our transportation functions as far as planning and plan review are spread across multiple departments. So they're within economic development or within planning and design. And the idea is to bring those in. So yes, there would be additional positions rolled into the department that are already existing in Metro.
I think I saw one more hand, and then I do have to roll. That must have answered it. All right. Thank you all very much. Have a great day.